I think a lot of people expect that it's going to take 5+ years to raise a transformational size gift from someone. But it really depends on the connection and the personal relationship. So you can move really fast when you go really deep. And I think that every human being wants to be significant. They want to matter. They want to do something that changes the world in some way. And it's not manipulation to take advantage of that, right? It's actually humility. I'm humbling myself and accepting the role of influence that I have in this leader's life. And I am going to choose as the fundraiser to be a leader for leaders. I am going to influence the influencers to become the most generous version of themselves. That is what I see the role of the fundraiser really is. And stepping into and really fully owning your influence with others.
That's powerful. And I was thinking about this just the other day in terms of power dynamics and how fundraisers oftentimes approach a situation where they're asking for funds. And the feeling of intimidation, terror, perhaps even life-threatening experiences running through your body of survival.
Yeah, for sure.
And what I'm hearing from you is that you're really trying to activate the courage and the leadership to show up and actually to take, even psych yourself out of being the one asking for something, but being the one offering something, offering leadership, offering an opportunity, offering a pathway for greater impact, for leadership, for legacy, for fulfillment. And that's a pretty magical power shift and dynamic shift, mentality shift.
That's right. That's right. It's a pretty powerful role to be in, to be a fundraiser, actually. You're not coming from the space of, oh, please, would you just give us, your crumbs? Every dollar counts, and from a place of, gosh, we're desperate. To you get to select who you would like to partner with in this work. And you get to draw close the people who are rooted in this mission with you. There are people who are fiercely dedicated to education equity in the US, and they are not going to quit their job. They're, an accountant. They're working at a firm. They're not going to quit their job and go start a nonprofit, but they are going to donate. Yeah. Because that's how they show up in caring about educational equity. Thinking about fundraising is when you throw a party, you invite people. You don't expect them to come to the party or know about the party if you don't invite them. And the invitation is not like, hey, would love, maybe if you're available to I'm doing this party.
But no pressure. Show up if you want.
Wait, so you want me to come? Or what are you saying? If you're available, I'm throwing a party. You just say you are invited. Yeah. Right. And we know that it's going to be a great time. There's going to be great food. There's going to be connection, right? There's going to be community. There's going to be fun. You are, as the fundraiser, making an invitation, right? An offer. And you're saying, and it's not just to a party, a social gathering. This is to one of the most impactful, meaningful contributions you will ever make in your life. I'm inviting you into that. So there is, of course, there's fear related to asking for more because you don't want to offend someone. You don't want to seem like you're out for their money. Right. And these are all normal things. First of all, I'm sure you felt it, Lindsay. I have too. And here's the thing. fear doesn't go away. You may conquer one level of fear. Okay, today it's no big deal. I'm comfortable asking this person for $10,000. I can do that because I've gotten in the reps. I've done it some more. I've heard yes. I've heard no. I've survived. I'm okay.
Yes.
I was able to deal with the feeling that I felt of hearing no.
Yeah.
And I was able to learn from that. I was able to gain valuable feedback from that donor as to why they said no, which is a huge win. And then guess what? Now you have the opportunity to ask for $100,000. So with a new level of growth, there are new fears. So we look at people who are courageous and we think, wow, they're just fearless. I actually am not a fan of that word, fearless. I think that it sets people up for failure. They believe I must be failing at this because I am full of fear. I'm not fearless. Wrong. When you're courageous, you still very much feel fear. Courage is who you are, not what you feel. Fearful people who shrink back, who accept the bare minimum from their board members, from their donors. They say, oh, thank you so much for $2,500, when you know deep down they could give $50,000 plus. And that person feels fear. And the person who boldly and courageously steps into their influence and says, you know what, Lindsay, I want you to consider giving your very best gift this year. What would that look like for you? Literally say that. And then when they come back and they say, oh, okay, you are going to be afraid in that moment. You might be, right? And that's okay. It's not a reason to not ask the question. It's not enough reason to not move forward. The mission is bigger than our comfort. So as fundraisers,
let's pause on that. The mission is bigger than our comfort.
Absolutely. How we feel, it's just a momentary feeling. You can handle it. You can handle it. You can handle how you're going to feel when you're asking for more. You can handle that feeling. Yeah. You are tough enough. You're strong enough. You're courageous enough. You just need to go for it and find out. Yeah. Find out how courageous you really are. You think that you're a scaredy cat because you don't ever put yourself in that position to feel those feelings of fear. But you will survive. People will step up. They will give again. They will give more. And you will find out how much ownership people really feel towards your mission, just like you do.
Okay, and let's talk about no. Let's talk about objections. Let's say, what's the worst case scenario? You finally muster up the courage, listen to the podcast. You're like, okay, Julie, you're right. The mission is bigger than my fear. I've got to go in. I've got to go big. I feel bold. I feel empowered. And now the donor says, wait, what? You want me to do what? No, like I can't do that. Or no, what? I'm not interested. That's too high. Where'd you even come up with that number? Are you smoking something? This is 10x what you've ever asked me to do.
Courage is rooted in humility. Humility is about thinking of ourselves less. So when we're asking the question, well, what do I do if I hear no? We're still focused on ourselves. If I can't hear no, I can't handle no. What do I do? If they say no, oh my gosh, they're going to hate me. It's not about you, honey. It ain't about you. Well, why did you start this nonprofit? Was it about you when you started it? So the question about no, it's as if we can't handle when people tell us no. And that's not true.
Thank you again for tuning in to Creating Community for Good podcast. I'm hoping that little clip or segment on YouTube was inspiring and that you're curious to hear the whole interview. If so, go to Creating Community for Good podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, and you can hear the full intros and the dialogue between this donor and executive director to get a glimpse into what it's like to think about philanthropy in a strategic way. Shine on.
With this latest valuable episode, we'd love to thank you for joining us on the Creating Community for Good podcast. If you found today's show valuable, simply visit our website, creatingcommunityforgood.com, to leave a review, as well as to get access to additional resources and relevant links from this show. Stay tuned for more episodes.